daha açayım şunu. tradition, they kept the old teaching of the Buddha go to the south, and Mahayana tradition is the teaching of the to the northern, so they move to the north side. So the Hot Sutra is part of Indian language. They have a tablet, plate, written in Indian language, is Pali, Sanskrit. So during the Buddha time, there's two languages, Pali and Sanskrit. So the Sanskrit is the northern India, they use it, and the Pali usually the south. So some of the Hot Sutra spoken by the Buddha in almost 22 years, but the Hot Sutra is very difficult to understand. That's why they just memorize. But they begin, the Buddha talk about this five sutra in Pali language is easy to understand. That's why they're able to remember. But the Hot Sutra is very difficult. So during the time the master pass life to life, sometimes they translate and they add some more from their practice. Not originally from the Buddha, but this is add more. Just like Einstein, he discovered something, and later people discover more things, and then they add more. But the same principle, but they just add more. That's all. So that's Mahayana tradition. I mean, the sutras they like add more, but the Theravada tradition they just give the original what the Buddha said. So that's why some people say Mahayana tradition is not the Buddha say. Some Theravada is like that. But doesn't matter the Buddha say or not say, is the practice help you to get enlightenment. Because the Buddha say the basic thing, you get enlightenment, you find out there's more detail. It's like somebody discover something. It's like Steve Jobs, he discovered the first iPhone, and later on the iPhone just add more and add more. You cannot say the iPhone 10 is not discovered by Steve Jobs, right? But the original is Steve Jobs, and then through time the more smart people they add more detail. It's like that. So the Buddha teaching like that. Through time to the people who practice and then they add, but they kept the original of the Buddha teaching. But through their practice to modern worlds, they have more probably more understanding. They just add more to that. So that's why you say iPhone 10 is created by Steve Jobs, right? He's the original who created it. And then iPhone 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, still the same basic of the Steve Jobs. But people, right now Steve Cook, he discovered, his team discovered more stuff, so they add more. But the original Steve Jobs. So the Buddha teaching is like that. You see it? Okay. It's like Steve Jobs is the founder, yeah. And then just add more, depend on the model worlds, like 2007, right now 2019. So it's like, okay. So that's why the Buddha say, do not believe what I say, but just practice to see what you get from what I say. Like if you practice, you get result, then you follow. If you practice, you don't get result, get rid of it. You don't have to hang on it. So that's why Buddhism is like open mind. Right? It's like medicine. It's help you to calm your mind. If that medicine is good for you, you take it. If not good to you, it's not good to you, you don't have to take it. It's like in the market, there's a pharmacy, there's a lot of medication, right? In the counter. So some people have Tylenol, Advil, or acetylcholine, all of them. Depend on your sickness, depend on what you use. So that the Buddha teaches the same thing. His method is like medicine. It's help you to calm your mind, right? Less stress, less anxiety, less fear. So if you use it, it's fit for you, then you should use it. If it's not working for you, then you don't need it, right? So sometimes it's work for you, but it's not work for other people. And you say, this medicine is good for me, but not other people. But some method is good for other people, it's not good for you. Then you say this teaching is not good because it's not fit for you, right? So don't criticize the medicine, right? It depends on your illness, your sickness, right? So it's very essential. So some people like just like the food. There's a variety of food, right? Some people like pizza. Some other people like spaghetti, whatever, bread or rice, whatever. Right? If they like rice, they don't like bread, and then they say bread is not good. It's not like that. So the teaching is like that. So we respect all teaching, all religion, but whatever method that help you calm your mind, more compassion, more loving kindness, then you use it. Right? Because all religion, all teaching is like the same basic: compassion, loving kindness. Right? Go back to our human nature. But the teacher does not help you, then you don't need to follow. Right? So that's why we have to open mind, open heart to learn everything. It's like you go to college. The first year you have to take the whole general. It's like 4 years you take general, right? So whatever fit for you, you go to the subject that more detail. It's like all religion is the same thing. First we have to learn all religion, and then whatever that fit for you, yes, you use it. Right? So the teaching of the Buddha is the same thing. Like, okay, next question.
Hey, I have a question.
Okay.
During meditation, sometimes I get itches, and sometimes my foot falls asleep. Sometimes I get a little pain here and there, and I want to move, and I want to scratch. Do all those things that my body is wanting me to do. But I hear that when I read about meditation, they say just to let it be. Don't scratch the itch. Don't move your feet. Like tonight, my feet were just going wild. So I moved them in and out because it was falling asleep. And I thought, well, if it falls asleep, then I can't do walking meditation. So I have to move my foot. So what is the proper way, or what's the best way? Is to just let it be and just be in the moment?
Actually, there's no proper way.
No?
It depends on your condition. Just like if you beginner, you sit your leg get numb, then later you can walk. You should not. You should move your leg. But through time, your meditation, your numb will get better. You have get no more numb. It depends on how you sit. If you sit not comfortable with your cushion, then you get numb fast. So make sure you adjust your belly, your leg, or whatever before you meditate. Make sure you feel comfortable. So if you get strong numb, you should massage your leg a little bit, pin on your nerve, right? But the itching or the other thing, you should not scratch. Let it be. But the numbness too strong, you should move your leg. Right? The itchy or the pain, slight pain, just let it be. But if the pain is get too strong, you should adjust. Because we don't want to sit like that, and later we get our back or our legs get hurt. Right? Meditation is not hurt your body. So first beginner, we have to adjust. When you sit 5 minutes, you see your body comfortable. If you feel comfortable, just continue sit. If you are feel comfortable, make sure to adjust around to make your body comfortable, right? So that's why there's no proper position or no wrong position. It depends how you use it. Yeah, but you have to do slowly, mindfulness, awareness, what you're doing. That's meditate already, right? So some people cannot sit long; they get numb. They have to move a little bit, or they have to get the nerve or the circulation move a little bit. So they have to move slightly. But if the more you sit every day, your body get comfortable, your leg get comfortable, then you sit fine. But the pain, small pain, scratch, itchy or whatever, don't let your mind disturb you. Right? because your mind tend to turbulent a lot. So itchy, square, whatever, let it be. Anybody have that kind of experience? Yes, go ahead.
Just a question to ask. Modern thinking is our bodies are electric. If that is true what it is it spirit? Is it our conscious? What do you think it is?
So what's your question?
If our bodies are electric,
If your body is electric,
also electric? Is our conscious also
electric?
thinking is spirit or electric? Yeah.
We have two types of mind. This what we call a form mind, then they have electric. Because our nerve, our minds, our brains run by electric, right? Impulse. So that's what we call form mind. But what we call emptiness mind is the mind without any form. It's used what we call, it generates energy, right? The force, the electric, right? The electric you can measure, but your emptiness mind, your true nature mind, you cannot measure. So we have a form and emptiness. Emptiness is form. So electric is form, the true mind is emptiness. So it depends on each other. So our whole body is run by electric, yes. All impulse, all the nerve run by electric.
Is electric consciousness?
It depends. If your minds have focus on it, is have consciousness. If you have no mind, then no consciousness. It's like electric. Electric, they have no consciousness. Right. But our mind have consciousness. Think about that, yeah. Electric in your body. Electric is come from the energy, and the energy is come from your mind, right? So your true mind create all this energy. So energy become electric. That's why our body, we use electric. That's why without electric, we cannot move. Because all our body, we have a nerve. All the nerve is trigger our body to move. Right?
Is electric also non-self?
If you attach to it, there's self, and then you don't know attach is non-self. Yeah. It's like the house, it's non-self. The electric, the tree, all materials have non-self. Non-self means everything formed together. They don't have a separate self. Like tree, they have different water, earth, fire, and air. They miss one of those things, and they cannot be the water. Itself here is something that they create by themselves, but nothing created by themselves. It's all depend on each other. It's like our body. Okay. We have two new students. Do you have any question? Anything that you like about? So how do you heard about meditation?
How did you hear about the meditation class here?
Yeah.
Found it on eDay.
Oh, you don't. Okay. So what you like to learn? Come here to learn? Or you just come to experience to learn more about meditation? Okay. So do you have any question? Do you have practice? Do you have any question?
I don't know what to ask.
Oh, okay. Yes, go ahead.
There's some thought that people who are blind also can see it, but it sounds like it's electrical. Is that?
A blind people can see, but one of the bolt is not working. It's like there's always have electric, but the bolt is burning out. So the bolt is represent the eye. They always have, they can see you. That's why we say they can able to see darkness, right? But the eyes is not working. It's like when you one of the bolt light is burning out, but there's still electric, but the bolt is burning out. So that our eye is the same thing.
So are you saying it's like a camera where the shutter is closed?
Yes, it's closed. Yeah.
So the camera would work?
Yes, it's still working, but they close the camera. Yes, Laura, you have a question?
Yeah, it's about walking meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I touch the earth with my feet and I think I'm alive. It reminds me that I'm alive, that motion of touching the earth. But I'd like to expand it a little bit and visually. I usually look down, just really concentrate on the foot contacting the soil or the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Am I occupying my mind with thoughts if I just look at trees or look at the sky, or I'm still thinking of life and beauty, but is that too much thought?
Do you use your mind to think, or you just aware of it?
Just aware.
Yeah,
The
if you're
eyes.
aware of it, then you have no thought. But our eyes, we can see. When we're walking, we see the plant, the grass, whatever. We just aware thing around us. But we have not arised any thought. Because we are living that moment. If we live in that moment, we see everything clearly. Right? It's like whatever you do, sitting, meditation, walking, meditate, or whatever. You just walk, your awareness, thing around you. So while you're aware of the thing around you, actually there's no thought. Because your mind is fully that moment, aware that moment. That's why you see everything clearly. Right? It's like when you sit right here, you see everybody clearly without any thought arise, but you fully use your mind to see, not your thinking mind. Yes, go ahead.
When we started walking back there in the forest, we
Mm-hmm.
we'll get our nature hikes again.
Probably in the summer. Right now it's getting too dark. Probably next couple of weeks. Yes.
Yeah, I noticed we walked longer tonight, and I appreciated that. I liked
Okay.
it.
Okay, next time we can walk about 10 or 15 minutes. Longer walking.
Yeah, actually, I know except for the last two. I do enjoy that.
Yeah, I like it too.
Okay, so next time we can walk 15 minutes. Usually we walk 3 rounds, and today we walk like 7 rounds, 10 rounds.
And I noticed I think our meditation is a little bit longer too.
Yeah, so we go increase, our practice has to be increased, not decrease. So that's why we probably sit 40 minutes. Usually we sit 30 minutes, now we probably sit 35 or 40 minutes. Because for beginner, it's hard for them to sit half an hour. That's why the class is very difficult for new student and old student. So our basic is sit only half an hour, and then we will do a walking 5 or 10 minutes. Okay. Comment, question? Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to mention, I learned to do walking meditation in another monastery,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying one is right or the other is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but they did it differently. What they did, first of all, they would swing their arms, so you may notice I usually swing my arms.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing they did that was interesting, they would start off very slow,
Yes.
and then they would go faster and faster. And then at the very end, they had this thing they called, I think they called it the fish.
Running.
it was a piece of wood. So at the very end, they would hit the piece of wood very hard, not one of the people, the piece of wood. And then everybody would stop right there. So it was just very different the way they did it. And one time, because they got going so fast, actually somebody got hurt. They slipped and fell. Anyway,
Okay.
that's it.
So,
It's a little like musical chairs, yes, Captain. Absolutely.
so walking meditation, there's many things you can, many ways you can use it. Depend on your mind. Sometimes you walk slowly, sometimes fast. What we call running meditation too. We do just running. Yeah. Here we want to keep the pace stable. We don't want to get anybody hurt because there's some young and some old people. We don't want to get walking meditation and broke their leg. And then they complain and went to meditation and I broke my leg. Right? That's why we have to keep the pace comfortable. We just come here to help you, not to destroy you. Yes.
What are your thoughts on guided meditation?
What is my thought on guiding meditation?
Yeah,
Like what?
like you know, like they have a lot of YouTube videos now where people guide you through the meditation and they talk all the
Yes, today's society we have so much knowledge. So you have to be careful what you're watching. You cannot just run there and there and there. You use method, whatever method you use, focus on that method. Don't chase around. We like a monkey. Like eat this and then chase the other tree and then eat. At the end you don't get anything. So like listen to Dharma is the same thing. Some people just listen everywhere. At the end they don't know what they're listening. So focus what you study and then continue on. Right? So don't chase around that person and this method and that method and then like one of the Zen masters say, when you walk to the mountain, there's many roads, right? You just walk half and then you see the other road better. Just go down and then go to the other road and then you see the other road better. Go down. At the end you cannot reach the top of mountain. So whatever method, learning, teaching, use that only. And then every method, every way to reach to the top of mountain. But you have to focus on that. You cannot just run around, right? If you run around, you will never get enlightenment, right? You can able to read and learn more, but don't chasing this or that. It will damage to your mind because your monkey mind is like this and that. People tend to stay in this mountain and they want to go to the mountain and then run around. At the end, they cannot get anything. Like Vietnamese students, they like to listen so many Dharma, so many teachers, and at the end we ask questions, they don't know what they're listening. Right? So we have to be careful. Yes, you have a question?
Well, you've got like rivers, running water. It seems like where it's called grounding. And if you're near running water, it seems like it's easier to meditate.
Yes.
For me. That is true, correct? Because of electricity?
It's depend on that person. It is true for you, but not other people. So it's dependent. Because we live in duality world. No 100%. Everything is dependent on that person. It's benefit for you, but not benefit other people. So go back to your question. So first we have to learn the basic of everything. Then we continue to learn on. You don't know the basic and you're just chasing around. This group, that group, and then at the end, you don't fit anyway. Then you get lost, right? So we have to be careful with that. Yes?
I was just wondering because I have a lot of friends and that's the only way they like to meditate. And I'm thinking, for me, it's like running away from your thinking mind because I feel like if I'm listening to the lady telling a story.
Yeah, you're chasing your thinking mind, your monkey mind.
Yeah, so if it's easy, obviously, because we're listening to a story.
Yeah.
It's like somebody's telling you, we're walking to the river and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It seems to me it's like listening to a story, but yet you cannot be with yourself.
Yes.
So I just wanted to know if I'm on the right path.
Okay,
Kinda.
that's good. Go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned about if something doesn't help you, then maybe don't use it. But aren't there certain things that are kind of like laws that you really can't ignore? I mean, isn't a law like saying, oh, you know, if you don't like gravity, just don't pay attention to it? Well, and what I'm thinking is like the Four Noble Truths. I mean, could you tell somebody, well, if that doesn't work for you, then just forget about it? Doesn't everybody really have to focus on the basic things
Yes.
like that? And
So doesn't matter what method you use, the Four Noble Truths is the basic.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in other words, if it doesn't work for you, then you can't just say, well, just forget about
Yes,
that.
you can navigate because that's the basic of everything.
Right,
Just
that's the basic.
It's like human, we use the breath, the air. You say, I don't care about air, but you use it anyway. Right.
So what you're talking about is like if there's some method that doesn't work for you, then switch to a different method maybe.
Yeah,
But the basics,
the basic of everything.
you have to.
Yeah, you have to follow.
Right, you have to
Yeah.
follow those.
Yes, that's right. Actually, you don't have to follow your body, your mind, follow by itself. It's like breathing. You don't have to focus on your breathing, but it's your body, your mind breathe by itself. Like eating food. Okay. Anybody like get numb yet? I sit for more than an hour, more than an hour.
Yeah, I had one last question.
Okay.
Yeah, last week I mentioned about this family, the Vietnamese family. So it was Ben and his wife and their 2 daughters and the terrible accident they had in Texas. And it's still affecting me some. I imagine the accident because it was so shocking to me. I just wonder if you have any advice about that, or what I might do.
Sometimes we get painful from the person that we like, we love, or whatever. So I'll go back to your breath and awareness that send out your love, your compassion to them, send out pray, and then you have to see. You ask yourself, why is my mind doing this? Go back to yourself and ask. Right. Is this helpful for me? Is this hurt me? If it's helpful, then I continue to be on it. If it has hurt me, make me more sad, upset, make me more loneliness, just let it go. So that's why sometimes things that come to us, we have to ask ourselves, is this helpful me? If it's not helpful me, then what's the point? Right? Then continue on. Because life, everybody sooner or later have to pass away. Different situation, that's all. Because life is very short. So that's why we live each moment. Even though the thought arises in our mind, the person or that group of family arises in our mind, we send our love, compassion, and pray for them to get, they probably in heaven or think about the goodness of them instead of thinking about the accident or the all this stuff. And then you have a negative mind, think about past them. They probably pass away, but they're probably in heaven or they're in paradise somewhere. And then you just sit here and think about the accident and you get upset, frustrated, and painful. Right?
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Any more question, comment?
I forgot the Four Noble Truths.
You forgot to follow to go home and review.
I was hoping if you have a crush, a quick what they are.
And now you can go Google, type the phone number 2. The suffering is cause of suffering, the end of suffering, and the path lead to end of suffering.
She said she could go forward
This is the first Dharma the Buddha taught after his enlightenment. You should understand the basic Four-Noble Truth. Okay, anybody question, comment? Otherwise we will recite the animals with us to go. Living being are innumerable, I vow to save them all. Reflections are endless, I vow to eradicate them all. The Dharma dawn uncountable, I vow to study them all. The Buddha raised and excelled, I vow to attain it. I vow that the merit and virtue of this will go everywhere and reach everyone, so that our earth and all living beings realize the Buddha ways.